Jesus freak here. This is not the end. This is the beginning of the end. With that said, I was to my usual church this morning, and they opted to accept the state's loosening of mask requirements. I'd say about 1 in 10 still kept the masks. There was this sort of unofficial poll last week, I think it was, where the pastor asked who of us had gotten the Fauci ouchie, and I think he said all but 2 of us had raised our hands. Now I've explained my sort of two-sided stance on the vaccine in previous videos. It makes sense when you think about it. So, most of us dropped the masks. We brought back the hymns. We still have certain modifications in place. But we brought back the hymns. And if it's possible, I might be sticking around after church, as I had been doing in the past, because my ride was a member of the choir. Maybe I'll shoot some videos there while I'm there. We'll see in the future. Like I said, it's not the end, it's the beginning of the end. It's progress. Now, I made a comment on Facebook, along with a picture of myself, obviously in church because you can see a stained glass window. And I commented about mask wearing there. And someone had commented, someone from Clarence, which is, right past where we go to Bender's Christian bookstore, she said that she had been to several grocery stores around her, and most people were still masking up. And I said, yeah, I seen the same thing. But I think there's a difference. See, when you go to a grocery store, most of the people you're going to see there are people you might not know. Your fellow parishioners at church. They're not necessarily going to be strangers. In fact, they're more like family. you'll at least somewhat know them. They won't be complete strangers to you, unless you're new there. So I said, given the difference between the type of people you're liable to run into at a grocery store and the type of people you're liable to run into at a church, yeah, I could see why people still want to mask up at the grocery store, but might be more open to taking their masks off in church. Church is like family in a sense. We still kept a few of the simplifications. Like, we didn't go back to moving around the church during the peace. Instead of, going around and shaking hands, you're still just sticking around our spots in the pews and just waving. But it's a gradual transition, and that makes sense. Do a little change, watch, see how it works out. Lather, rinse, repeat. It just makes more sense, I think. And something was to be said about, it's Pentecost and the looser mask restrictions were a breath of fresh air sweeping through the church. Kind of like the Pentecost incident itself, I guess. Anyway, Jesus freak out.